Greetings. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I don't always start off telling people what my name is, but I'm doing that today because I'm doing this video in a slightly different way. Usually I have a general topic I want to speak on, and that's what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to lead with some information. You know, I've been doing videos on this channel about 10 years now, and I have had a few videos that have done really well, but very few that have done well have been on leadership. They've all been on healthcare and healthcare technical things. So I know there's an audience out there for that, but I'd rather talk more about leadership because I tend to believe that we really need more people who are good at leadership than the other thing. But I don't get a lot of views. I thank the 230 plus people who are subscribed to the channel. I really do. I appreciate you for that. But more of y'all need to kind of watch these things to help me out here, because it turns out that YouTube will only promote you if they see that there are people who are interested in seeing the videos. Most of them get less than 10 views, and I don't want to sit there and say that's okay. I would really love to have a lot more, but I appreciate those people who are at least watching. I wish there was more sharing. I wish that, I was better known for this to, really get things going, but it is what it is. And this isn't really the only place that this happens. Let me tell you about part of my history. I've been writing my business blog now since 2005. So it's about 14 years, almost 14 and a half now, because I started February 2005. And I've got close to, I think, 1,200 articles on that site. And just under half of them are strictly on leadership. Some are leadership mixed with diversity, some are healthcare and whatever, but pretty much the same thing. I put out a lot of content, and it doesn't get viewed all that often. And I promote. I really do promote it. I've been independent as far as employment since 2001. Now, here's something I haven't really ever talked all that much about. When I was an employee, I think that you could say that I left 3 jobs intentionally, and I lost 3 jobs unintentionally. It just is what it is. And the jobs I left intentionally were always in a way so I could progress. In other words, at one point, I was like assistant supervisor, and I left that job to become a regional manager of a physician billing company. I was an accountant. What do they call me? My goodness, that was some kind of a cash accountant. That's right, that was a cash accountant, which sounds stupid, but actually I handled all the cash transactions. I didn't have to do all the bookkeeping, but I handled all cash transactions. So I was a cash accountant, and I left that job to become director of patient accounting at another hospital, and it was almost double the salary I was making before then. And what's the other job? Oh, my goodness, I got into healthcare. I was working at a music store, and I was making $3.75 an hour, which back then was considered not the worst money in the world, but it wasn't enough money to move out on. And I left that job because it was family owned. I wasn't going anywhere, to go work at the hospital, where my salary increased to $1.20 an hour, which in today's world, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but back then it finally allowed me to at least move into an apartment. So like I said, I had some control over some stuff, and then I had a couple times where I didn't have control. Since I've been independent, it's been interesting. Most of the time I've gone into a gig with the knowledge of when it was supposed to end. And for the most part, that has worked out well. I've had some extensions. I've had a couple of times where it ended quick. It ended before it was supposed to. One time I ended it. I actually ended another contract once where I just didn't think me and the person who asked me to work with them were really on the same page. And then I had an incident where I came home because my wife was having surgery, and I got back only to find out that the CFO, who wasn't the one who brought me on, decided he wanted someone who was closer. I wish they had let me know before I flew all the way out to Reno, but that's just how it goes. And you start to find out that you really don't have that kind of control over what anyone else decides you want to do. You have a little bit more control of your life in some ways, but in other ways you really don't. That's the same thing with trying to get people to watch more of these videos. You don't have any real control over anything. All you can do is keep putting out putting things out and seeing if anyone is really interested in learning about leadership. That's the same thing with my leadership blog. And you're putting these things out there and you're hoping that you're going to find some people who are interested in reading that stuff and maybe commenting and maybe having you come in, because I've earned gigs here and there. But one of the things that, now we're going to get back to a leadership topic, is that you find that there are people in leadership who will pretty much quit or stop trying rather than persevere and try to figure things out. And it can be tough to do. You kind of feel like you don't have any real support, whether it's from your employees or the people above you or even your peers. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it all falls on you to try to figure things out. The difference is that you still have the opportunity to really fix things. If something is broken, you have the opportunity to fix it. And you might as well take that opportunity, because if things stagnate, they're going to let you go. If things aren't better, they're going to let you go. So you might as well go ahead and take your shot. You try to get as many people along with you, and that's one of the things about leadership. If you can convince others that you're on the right path and that you're trying to bring them along with you, and everyone's going to get credit, that things are going to improve, and you make their working environment better for them, then you're going to win. You're going to be, one of those people who folks are going to like. Everyone's not going to like you, by the way, but most of them will. And they're going to do their best, and you're going to have a good working relationship, and you're probably going to have a pretty good job. I've had that on some of my consulting assignments. I've had a few times where they've given me parties when I left, which involves sometimes chocolate chip cookies without nuts. It can really be fun to be a leader. And it's fun when, you have folks who will give you that opportunity to do things. Yes, it's not necessarily so much fun doing the videos and not having people watch them. It's not as much fun writing, but like I said, I've been doing it since 2005 on that blog. I have another blog, by the way, that I've been writing since 2007, and that one is actually, it's been really popular at times before the internet became what it's become at this point. It still does pretty well, but nothing like the other one, nothing like it used to do. But that's just the nature of the game, But I'm still one of those people who hasn't given up. I'm still putting things out there after all these years. I just celebrated my 18th year of self-employment in June, and I'm still talking about leadership. I'm still going to put these things out there. I hope that more people will subscribe. I hope more people watch. I hope they, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so that they're notified when I put something new out there. And I just wanted to say that I hope that one of these days I'm looking back on a period like this and saying, you know what, I didn't give up. I'm glad I didn't give up. Yes, there were people who wanted to learn about leadership or diversity or employee relations or customer service or whatever. And I put something out there that touched someone in a positive way. I think, that's not a bad thing to aspire to. And like I said, I'm Mitch Mitchell. That's all I have to say. I hope you have a wonderful day.